This is only the second episode, and Sasha, thank you for being here.
I mean, thank you for having me. This is really exciting.
How you been? ¿Qué de nuevo tu sin verte, muchacha?
No, do you know what? I've been in a whirlwind of life, you know, like moving back from California back to New York City has been a beautiful thing. Like ever since I got back, I've been working and doing stuff. But I'm learning or dealing with other trials and tribulations, you know?
Yeah. And then how's the move? Like, what is that? Why you moved out of LA anyways?
I think with LA, it's just very isolating for me. And I think because the industry was kind of like, nothing was happening over there. Like we were on strike, then there was fires, then there's like just a lot of things going on in Los Angeles, and I kind of felt homesick. I wanted to be around my peers. I wanted to be around my family, which is funny because
have you seen the family?
I've seen them, but not as much as they wanted me to see them. But to be fair, I do still see them more than I did when I lived in California. But yeah, I was kind of homesick, and I felt like, you know, with New York City, I saw this quote where it says like, if you want to take charge of your destiny, you come to New York City. And I really resonated with that, and I was just like, it's time for me to go back.
And is it because you wanted to focus more on stand-up?
I wanted to just focus more on live things, like, you know, like I do like being on stage. Sometimes, you know, right now I'm writing a one-woman show.
What?
And I think that it's doing this emotional reckoning for me, where it's just like I'm starting to figure out different versions of myself that I've like never in my life have like dug that deep to feel or to understand.
And why a one-woman show?
A one-woman show, I think because it's not going to necessarily always be funny.
Yeah.
There's going to be moments of like levity, but there's also going to be a lot of deep moments about like how I was brought into this world. And I think, you know, making that decision and being like, this is what I'm going to like really dedicate myself to has emotionally like opened me up to be vulnerable, and also like I feel like a crab. Like I feel like I'm hibernating right now.
I feel like there's so much, like there's levels to you, right? Like
Yeah.
you're very funny.
Thank you.
You do acting, but you also like there's this type of depth to you.
Yes.
Right? Like you know how to be fun, and you know how to be funny.
Yeah.
But you also know how to be deep.
Yes.
You're a very smart woman too. Like I know I have a lot of friends, and I don't have deep conversations with all my friends. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes we sit down, we have some good ass conversations. I'm like, coño. So it's like, especially a lot of comedians, they're very surface level.
Yeah.
You're not.
Right.
That's one thing I noticed about you. So is that the reason why you was like, let me start a one-woman show?
Yeah, because it's I'll be able to put everything that I love in one project, right? So I'll be able to put humor, depth, you know, thoughts, like anything that is, it just gives you a wide range of things that I could put in one project. So that's really what I'm going to be focusing on. And I'm kind of excited about it, but also nervous as shit.
Well, that's exciting. That's exciting. And then, you know, besides the one-woman show, like, I saw that you were also filming a movie. Muchacha, tú haces de todo. There was once you dije, coño, Sasha hasta en la sopa.
Yeah.
Because when I saw everywhere I went to a Me Too event, you were like...
Yeah, I know.
I went to a film festival in Palm Springs, and then I took pictures at the white... we're in the red carpet and the white wall, and your face was right behind...
Crying.
Yeah. You were photobombing everybody.
Right. And it was so funny to me because I'm like, yo, they used the most horrible picture of myself. And then somebody was like, well, you know what? It probably made them feel emotional in that, you know, because I was crying in that scene. And I was like, you know what? Maybe my acting chops deserve to be there. But yeah, man, it's funny because it's true. You did say, like, mira, muchacho, tú sales hasta la sopa.
Yeah, la sopa. Yeah, and then what is it that got you into this? Because, you know, like, let's say somebody's watching and they were like, okay, you got, how many years you been doing this?
Man, like 10 years.
10 years.
But you know what's so interesting? It's like, I even sat here and I was just thinking about it, right? Like, while you were putting everything together, I'm like, there was one point where things like this would make me so nervous. It didn't matter where it was. It could have been in a freaking shack somewhere. and be like, oh my God, what are they going to ask me? And I'll just be like so nervous. And now I'm like, I'm so
used to it by now.
I'm so used to it, but also I feel like I'm getting to know myself so much more that I'm like, no, this is what I'm going to talk about. This is who I'm going to be, and this is what I'm going to do, you know? So like even learning the years of like being in podcasts and people like asking me questions and me like blanking out.
Yeah, but I think because before when we were just getting in, we're like, I think we're trying to be entertaining first.
Yes.
Right? And then we're not being authentically us. Right? And then now is like, I don't care about entertaining people. What I care about is having deep conversation, being the real me. Right? I think that's how I was with me and Pero Like. When I was in BuzzFeed, I was like, how can I be as Dominican as possible?
Right.
Right? How can I be more but the thing is, that shit gets exhausting after like an hour or 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right? And then after years of learning yourself, you're like, okay, I could just be me. Yo está bien.
See?
You know what I mean?
I just know that I have this deep need, this deep want, like this very, very deep want and need to connect with people. Like connect with like millions of people. And I don't know, I've always felt like that since I was a kid. I'm like, I have this deep need to connect with others.
What do you think that the market is missing right now? And what is it that within the market that you're trying to fill?
To be fair, I don't think the market is missing anything. There's a whole bunch of everything everywhere. But I do believe that because what the entertainment industry is now with social media and everything, it's fighting for every inch of your attention, right?
Yeah.
And every time you're on your phone, you're kind of looking for something that you can relate to. So all I could hope for is whatever I put out there is something that people are looking forward to.
That they could resonate with.
They could resonate with, and they could just really be like, oh, I like this person enough to like, you know, follow them and grow with them. And like, you know, there's a part of my vulnerability now where I'm just like, I think I want to let people in a lot more because I was more of, I am very guarded. I'm a very guarded individual, even though I seem like, like welcoming.
Yeah.
Like I am very guarded and I tend to isolate myself a lot. Thanks, Dad. Learned that from him. Thank you so much for teaching me that. But yeah, so I'm learning just to try to be more vulnerable and just meet myself where I am. And like not be like, oh, I'm 35 or I don't have kids or I'm going through this breakup, just kind of being this person. And I want to tap into a little bit of what you said, where you were like, when you were doing Pero Like, and you're like, yo, I have to be pretty much this character for like a certain amount of time, and it gets exhausting, right? When I first started doing social media, I didn't understand where that was coming from, right? Like I always knew like I was like this entertainer and like all this stuff. And what I learned was the reason why I would do things and I got this notoriety that I felt like I didn't deserve. Like, wow. I really felt like...
That's imposter syndrome.
Yeah, but I really was like, I do not deserve this amount of attention that you guys are giving me. And so I learned that for a very long time. I was self-sabotaging myself and a lot of my opportunities because I just felt like I didn't deserve it. Like literally deep down inside, I was like, you know what? I don't deserve this attention.
I wonder where does that, like, I know that people always have these conversations, but I wonder where does that come from, that self-sabotage and imposter syndrome?
Well, I didn't come from a family that goes, hey, you have a dream and go for it. I didn't come from that. I came from a family that was like, do the bare minimum, keep your head down. If you have a roof over your head and food, like that's it, you know? And, you know, a lot of people know this or a lot of people don't know this, but my mom passed away when I was 3 months old.
Oh my God, did I know that?
Yeah, so like, yeah, exactly. Like I'm not as vulnerable as I should be.
You don't talk about this at all.
Usually it's like, if I get like, you know, I'm really close friends or like, you know, lovers or whatever, like, or relationship, like I tend to like give this information. But yeah, so my mom passed away when I was 3 months old. So,
oh my God.
So it even ties into like me being an entertainer. So my mom passes away when I'm 3 months old, and that is the person that's supposed to love me unconditionally.
Yeah, especially to be. I can't imagine you being. You said 3 months old.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't even have a memory of her.
No, I don't. And so she passes away, and then
may I ask how?
Breast cancer.
Wow.
So that's part of one of the things I want to tap into in the One Woman Show is just really talking about how I came into this earth. Like my mom had breast cancer and she was 3 months. This is from what they tell me because my family barely talks about her, and that lets me know like, damn, her not being in this world is so painful that some people don't want to talk about it, you know? So, you know, there's a whole part of my identity that I don't know, but that's another story for another time. But when she was diagnosed, she went to the doctor, right? She went to the doctor just because she's like, oh, am I pregnant? They're like, yeah, you're pregnant, but also you have
breast cancer.
You have like stage 4, like a very high stage of cancer. And if you get an abortion, right? Like if you get an abortion, you have a chance to fight it. Like you'll have the chance to fight.
And she was like, no.
She said no.
And she's like, I'd rather have my baby.
Yeah, she's like, I'd rather have this child.
And how did that impact you? Like, especially knowing that.
That's why I want to like do this One Woman Show, right? Because she's like this hero that saved my life. So, well, you know, you have that story, but also the story of the girl who lived without a mom and how painful it is.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You know, like how painful it is to like not have that part of your identity. Like you don't know that part of you. Because I see people that like, there's people that have both of their parents alive, but they hate them, right?
Yeah.
But there's this acknowledgement of like, I know where I got these bad qualities from. Like I know where I got these good qualities and these bad qualities from. Because you get to know a bit of yourself if you know your parents. But not knowing that part of me, it's like I'm always floating. Like I'm always not floating, but I'm always searching and I'm always asking. Like myself.
It's like you don't know what parts you get from her.
Yeah, I know what I get from my dad.
You know what you get, but you don't know what you get from her.
I don't know what I get from her.
You don't even know like what was her dreams or was it?
You know, there was one time, and this is very interesting. There's one time. This is like during YouTube where a whole bunch of these videos are coming up, and like I remember that's where I watched Eddie Murphy Raw for the first time, and then I was like stumbled upon like Sonny and Cher and their variety show, and I was like, damn, this is really good. Like I was just like really watching it, and then I got like this obsession with Cher. Like I was just like, oh my god, Cher is just like, I love Cher. Like you know, she's one of my favorite celebrities. And my aunt comes in and she goes, what are you watching? And I was like, oh, I'm watching the show. I don't know if you watched that. I know it was like in the 70s or whatever. It's called Sonny and Cher. She was like, that's your mom's favorite TV show. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah, your mom was obsessed with Cher. I was like, me fucking too. So
no
I'm like,
way.
Yeah. So there's a part of me of like, you know, maybe she would have been my best friend, but I don't know, right? Like, I could only assume, right? But
that's genetic. Damn, it makes me like want to appreciate my mom a little bit more because I'm like, sometimes I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
And when I hear situations like this, I'm like, damn, I got to be a little bit more grateful.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. Like,
it is a blessing to have your mother around.
It is.
You know, but sometimes, I think as Latinos, we do put our parents on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it took me to be 38 years old to be like, okay, our parents are flawed just like us. Right. And I think sometimes we reach a level that we become our parents' parents. Mm-hmm. Right. And I feel like I hit that level. Like before, we used to see them like a Superman or whatnot. Like, oh, they're untouchable, indestructible. Yeah. But I think I've reached a level that I'm like, you know what? They're flawed humans just like we are flawed as well. Right. So I think I'm navigating is like, how does that look? Especially Dominicans, we're not very loving. You know, we're loving with everybody else. Mi amor, ¿cómo tú estás? A stranger, mi amor, ¿qué tú quieres? But when our own family, mira.
Yeah. We're really harsh on our immediate family.
Yeah, immediate, like, mira, qué estúpido.
Yeah.
Es verdad que tú eres un animal.
Yeah. It's like, you have this thing where it's, every time you're about to go to a gathering, it's always like, mira, no hable de esto y no le diga de esta cosa. You know what I mean? Like, it's always like this, like whatever stays in the house, stays in the house.
It stays in the house. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's a generational thing. Yeah. That's like a millennial thing. Like, we grew up like, you don't air out your dirty laundry, but now we live in a society that like you have to say everything.
Yeah.
Like sometimes on Facebook. You ever been on Facebook and somebody's having marital problems? You're like, my husband ain't shit.
Yeah.
Yo tengo una amiga y un amigo que she's always like, he ain't shit. If he's gonna be going to the club, he could stay out there. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's more of a. I wish.
Well, I think so too. That now people do shit like that, and they talk about their personal life now because there might be a chance that they might become a star off of that. Like before, it was just like, yo, don't you have any shame? And now it's like, actually, no.
I just want attention right now.
Yeah, I think attention right now is the currency that
everybody's looking for.
That everyone's
I don't know.
looking
Not
for.
every attention is good attention. Have you seen that CEO that got caught cheating on his?
I know.
Muchacha.
But you know what's so funny? That's horrible, but I'm pretty sure that party got him some sort of notoriety some way, somehow.
He got famous.
That's what I'm saying.
For the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Like if a podcast wants to make fun of it and be like, hey, you want to talk about how embarrassed you feel? And they're like, I was on, like now I don't believe that this generation, there's any bad attention. I think that's all attention is attention. Like good or bad. It just doesn't exist.
Yeah, because nowadays rage baiting is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rage baiting is so common now, like normal. And people like, during, the whatchamacallit, the last election, right? There was this guy named Leito. I don't know if you heard of him.
No.
Venezolano. So he would post a lot of rage bait, and he would like get a lot of notoriety. Like even they put it all over the news, and he was like, "If you come to the United States, you could start squatting in different places." Like he's like, "This is what the United States do. They're giving me come to the United States because you'll get money. You live for free. Look, they put me in this hotel." So this Leito was putting out all this rage bait, right, which he benefited from.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he kept going because he's like, I'm getting all these numbers. I'm getting all these likes. I'm getting all these comments. But guess what? It bit him in the ass because now Leito's dead. Tú te ríes de eso.
It's just the way you said it because now Leito's dead. Se jodió la vaina. I don't know. I didn't think he was going to be dead. Like, I just didn't think that was going to be the outcome. But yeah, too much attention can get you killed. Mm-hmm. I do agree with that. I mean,
that's just dark. We are comedians, so that's a dark shit to laugh about. Leito's dead.
It was just, that's the thing about comedy. You can say anything. It's just the delivery of it that makes it funny. But it's not the actual thing. But, I grew up in a family that anything that was traumatic will like laugh about it. It doesn't mean that the trauma isn't real.
Yeah, I think we get the best comedy from dark moments.
Yeah, when I'm having an argument, like a real argument, like, and I have to really say like what I'm really feeling.
Yeah.
This is my face the whole time. Okay, so the way that you were, like, I would be, like, I'm, like, smiling from ear to ear, and it looks like I'm...
Happy.
Like...
But you're not.
But I'm not. It's like, I'm just trying to figure out what was an argument, but it was just kind of like, well, I think that you're very selfish, and, like, you were being such a fucking asshole, like, but I'm stating it, and I'm like this from ear to ear.
No way.
Yeah, like, and it's
kind of psychotic.
I might be psychotic.
So, remember when you cheated on me?
It's exactly how that's how it is. That's how it is. Like, and then you went off and then you cheated on me. And so here we are. I am single and I'm doing my own thing. Like,
that's confusing. Like, for me, as a member, I'll be like, wait, did I do a good thing or a bad thing?
Right.
So you don't get mad. You don't get you don't take that.
No, I do get mad. But I get mad when I'm hurt.
Oh.
So like when I'm sad. So I realize that my sadness turns into anger. Right? So like I could
and
be
then
really
your
mean.
Anger turns into happiness.
Yeah, my anger turns into like I'm just smiling like, okay, so I'm super angry. So yeah, like but I get really mean when I'm sad.
Damn.
Get really mean.
Damn, pero tú eres emotional bipolarism.
Yeah, no, it's not emotional bipolar.
Yo soy doctor ahora.
Ahora di que
I'm
tú,
diagnosing
no,
you.
yeah, I'm like, what's your degree?
University of Phoenix.
Those 2 tequila bottles right there, that's your degree.
Dominican University.
Yeah, no. No, I'm like, I know. My moods aren't like, it's just when I have to confront an emotion, like usually, like I'm like very avoidant, like an avoidant attachment. So I try to avoid any like deep feelings. But once I'm in it, I'm like, how do I manage it?
I think I'm the same way. I'm like avoidant, pero cuando yo me aficio, yo soy attached. I'll dance with both of them.
You might be like anxious avoidant.
I think I am anxious
Avoidant anxious, yeah.
It's either you get the extreme, coño, yo estoy loco contigo.
Yeah.
Pues.
So how does that work? Like when you get crazy, like in love with someone, how, like, what is the time frame for it?
Muchacha, yo soy dominicano, so un día.
So you get over it over one day?
Over it? Nah. If I'm crazy about somebody, it'll probably take me 2 years.
2 years?
Like a year, 2 years. I'm like, it depends what I'm doing. Right? Especially like...
Can you be friends with them? Like if tú estás oficial con alguien?
I tend not to.
So,
si yo estoy oficial, I think I gotta cut them off. Right? First of all, I also don't want to go in a new relationship going like, oh, by the way, I'm friends with my ex. I don't believe that shit.
Yeah.
I don't be like, yeah, we dated, we did something. We're not going to be friends and I have a new relationship knowing damn well I did something. I think that's disrespectful.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I want to like it to be done to me. I wouldn't do it to somebody else. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Pero yo puedo estar loco pa una mujer. And I think sometimes with age, like right now I'm at that age, like I was just talking to somebody, right? Unfortunately, you know, a Dominicana, black Dominican woman. And then all of a sudden, una mami, she was like 5'10", bro. Like, parecía un edificio. I was like, I'm gonna climb you like como un edificio.
So wait, she's taller than you then. 5'10".
Claro.
All right.
I'm the
Short king.
You know.
Okay, yeah.
A las mujeres altas le gustan los hombres chiquitos. You know, I think us men, I think we got to reframe it. I know a lot of women want tall guys.
Yeah.
Right? But a lot of us guys that see tall women, we're like, oh, let's not talk to them. No.
Yeah, intimidating.
Sometimes that's a fetish for them because we're like the right height for them. Entonces uno come bien ahí abajo.
You don't have to go nowhere. You just be like, walk towards.
Ahí mismo, yo no tengo que agacharme tanto, no neck, back pain.
Yeah.
And it's fun because like when you're small, like tú puedes encaramarla, Tarzan.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry. Damn, I wish I had more coffee.
More coffee, I got you.
Yeah, but go ahead. So tell me, you were dating
So
someone?
we were talking, and I was like, man, this woman, like, you know, she's professional, gorgeous, right? You know, she had like that dark skin that you're like, she looked bronze, like it shines in the sun. Like, oh my God, curly hair. I was like, yes. And then we were having a conversation, and I was like, you know, I have family that's racist. And her to relate to me was like, hey, by the way, I'm racist too. Like, I'm going to be like,
oh, yeah.
Sí,
you told me about this.
Tú entiendes lo digo. Yeah, but and she's like, you know, you're probably not going to want to talk to me. I'm like, yo, but I'm like, what do you mean you're racist? Like, but we're black. We're black people, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, but I just don't, when it comes to black Americans, I can't relate to them. I think they're ghetto. I don't even go to their concerts. And she was just saying all these like
so crazy
anti-black shit that I was like, it took me some time to soak in. And I'm like, and at the same time as a man, you're like, coño, está buena la tipa.
Yeah.
She might be ignorant, but está buenísima. Right? And I was like, I was talking to this girl every single day. I was really liking this girl. I was like, man, like I was gonna go on a trip to LA to spend time with her. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And with her saying that was just a fucking vibe killer.
Yeah, soul crushing.
It's so crushing because I'm like, you had this idea of this person, that's not it. And I'm like, this is 2025.
Yeah.
This woman is 37 years old. I'm not gonna change the way she thinks. I'm not gonna change the way she thinks, you know. And she was like, "Oh, me and my sisters got in a fight with some black girls." I'm like, "Okay, I got in a fight with black guys. I got in a fight with white guys. I'm in a fight with Dominicans." I'm not gonna say I hate.
Right. It's like we get in fights with our own people all the time. I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, I hate my Dominican people." Like, bro, No, I'm not gonna say that.
But for her to feel so calm and like confident and be like, she was okay with telling me, or comfortable, I mean, she was so comfortable in telling me that she's racist, thinking that I'm gonna be okay with it, right? And I think I spent all weekend without talking to her. I'm like, let her soak it in, like with everything that she said. I'm like, I hung up the phone afterwards, and I called her a couple of days later, and I was like, yo, that's a deal breaker. I gotta stand on my values, you know. You also gotta think about, I'm a type of dude that I'll talk about Afro Latinidad, Black Latinos in Latin America and stuff like that, and in America.
Yeah.
So, and she was like, you know what, I actually wanted to tell you my experience and I want you to understand. And then she was like, what I meant is like, I didn't mean that I was racist. I'm like, Mama, you said you were racist. And then she was like, what I meant was that I'm racist towards everybody. I was like, that's worse.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. It is worse.
That's worse.
Yeah.
And she's not the first Latina. She's not the first Dominican woman that's ever came up to me and said some shit like that, that was comfortable in telling me this. You see what I'm saying? She's actually like the third Latina.
Yeah.
That be like, that has anti-black rhetoric.
Yeah.
So
I think that it's something that is subconsciously embedded in pretty much all cultures.
mm-hmm.
You know, like, I remember growing up in New York City and kind of being like, racism is over.
Mm-hmm.
I remember thinking that. Like, I remember thinking, because I was in high school and you learn about Martin Luther King and, like, you know, kids, like, black people and white people could coexist. And, like, in my 20s, I had a great time in New York City. I really was like, oh, like, racism is over. Then social media comes out and all this stuff, and you're like understanding things a little more. And it wasn't until like, and it's also too that I had to understand was, I also didn't leave New York City. So a lot of people that have certain like racist rhetorics or whatever, ask them if they've traveled. Mm-hmm. Ask them if they have lived anywhere else but the comfort of whatever town they're from. Mm-hmm. Like, usually those people who have these ideas of racism not being real, or they have like these narratives, ask them if they traveled. Ask them if they've gone anywhere else in the world.
They're not even
They
close
have
to.
no idea. They probably go from here to the island, but they have no idea. So it's like when I was moving, like I remember I went to Georgia and people being like, oh, that was the first time that I had the experience of people being like, oh, you're light-skinned black girl, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm Dominican, but I'm like, oh, I understand. Optically, yes, I am. Like, it's to the point that ain't no Dominican girl doing locks on their hair. There's no Dominican girls doing locks on their hair. I mean,
That's true.
but there's very few, right?
Very few.
It's to the point that here even they speak to me in English because they go, oh, yeah, puede ser jamaiquina, or like she's not Dominican, right? Even when I went to DR, they weren't speaking to me in Spanish because they're like, no Dominican girl is gonna take their hair and lock it. What she's gonna do is ella se va a hacer lisado. She's gonna flatten her hair, like, you know what I mean? Or she's at least gonna have it a little bit curly.
Yeah.
So even here, they'd be like, oh, tú hablas español. Like, I just got out of Uber with this Dominican guy. He's like, tú hablas español. I'm like, sí,
claro.
sí, yo hablo español. Like, yo soy Dominican. Yo no sabía. I'm like, this is the thing that throws you off. So that's why it's a little upsetting when I hear people.
And it's like we're in 2025,
yeah,
right? And we've been talking about Afro Latinidad and blackness and anti-black rhetoric, right? I was like you. I was like, oh man, racism is over.
Yeah.
Especially growing up in New York City, you learn a lot of these things in school, like slavery and stuff like that. But I think also at 2025, you're like looking and everything is in your face. It's like the America we grew up believing it is not it. You see what I'm saying? I feel like I grew up thinking like, oh man, America, there's no more racism. That's it. It's over.
You have to understand it's the cities.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to understand that it's the cities that make you feel like the world is more united than what it is.
Yeah.
So if you live in California or if you live in the outskirts of America, this is where mostly the most immigrants land, is in the outskirts of America. But when you do a road trip and you go into middle of America, you will not be accepted. People like us are not going to be accepted. So you're fighting this rhetoric and you have not even traveled. You don't know what it is to have people be racist against you.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up saying the N-word all the time because it's, for me, it was like,
Cultural.
It's cultural, and we're New Yorkers, and it's like saying, oh, that's my friend, that's my friend, that's my friend, right? Like, oh, that's my friend, you know?
Yeah. I still say it.
Yeah, it still slips out.
Okay, it's a perfect word sometimes.
I know, but especially for New Yorkers, it's like, whatever. It means something completely different.
Yeah.
But what I understood when I started leaving New York City and I started to speak to other people, at the time that you were saying it freely, right? Those same years, we're still getting called that and beaten over it. Like,
it's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's where I gotta go. Okay, especially if I'm going to be a public figure, especially if I'm going to be someone who's like more worldly, like I have to understand these things. But the thing is, when you don't travel and you have no idea how the rest of the world is or how whatever, you're going to just have your own biases and be ignorant. And that's just really what it is.
That's true.
And just as long as you say that and know that you're ignorant, just accept that. Like, that's what it is. It's I didn't realize how. It wasn't until like I met Eden, my ex-boyfriend, who like, he was from New Zealand. He is from New Zealand.
Yeah.
And then he was telling me like the racism against like the Maori people there.
The
Aboriginals are from Australia.
Yeah.
But the Maoris and how like right now it's like kind of going through the same similar thing with like healthcare and like white people just being like this thing. And I'm like, so this is a worldwide thing.
It's a worldwide thing. Yeah,
so this is a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
So you're over here you're saying that you're racist against the people who are not empowered throughout the world.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just like, it also now what is scary is like before people could see all of this information, and now you're starting to see like restricted things, like, because, you know, my ex, he would travel back and forth. So he'll be like, oh, I could see this, but there's things that now are just for your country that you can see versus before when social media first started, it was like, you can see things from all over the world.
Yeah.
But now everything is regional based.
Yeah. I also, there's a lot of things that's in your face now. Like, us, we know everything that's going on in Palestine. We see everything that happened over there, right? So it's like I think it's not normal for us to be somewhere and receive all this information all at once, right? And you're right. The whole thing about this is a worldwide thing. And I had a conversation with somebody last night, and he was telling me that white privilege does not exist. It's not a thing.
It's a worldwide thing. It's a worldwide thing.
Exactly. And I was like telling him, like, he's like, we're in America. I'm like, yo, this is a worldwide thing. Like, I'm a Dominican man, and we had the, what is it you call it, the shades of a color, like we had the hierarchy. I forgot what you call it. There's a name for it. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. I only know the American like brown paper bag thing. But
the brown paper, but we had like our own like hierarchy. Like there's also like different names for certain colors and stuff like that, right? But this is also, like you said, is a worldwide thing. It's in Mexico, it's in Latin America. I think people tend to focus on Dominicans because we have Haiti right there. I think we're in the precipice, we're like in the middle of all this whole race thing. Yeah. Right. If you think about it, right. But all Latin America is like that. It's worse than Argentina.
Yeah, Argentina, I didn't even know there's other nationalities. They're always like blonde hair, blue eyes.
Blonde hair, blue eyes. You talk about, yo creo que in Colombia, black Afro Colombians have been coming up like, listen, people are racist in Colombia. Nobody dates me because I'm black. Right? I was like, girl, I'm about to travel over there.
Right, I'm gonna find me a good girl. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good Colombian queen.
Let me get me an Afro Colombian girl. You know what I'm saying? We could dance some vallenato, mami.
Yeah. And it's like that song, No le pegue la negra. No and it's a Colombian song.
The Colombian song. Actually, the cumbia came from Afro Colombians.
Yeah. Like most of the stuff that we love and most of the things that we love usually, like when it comes to music, food, comes from
Black culture.
The Afrocentric parts of our culture.
And
that's why to me it's just like it doesn't make like why can't we just embrace
Mm-hmm.
that? Like, why is this like this kind of like, no, like,
Yeah.
what is it? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, people go, oh, this was my experience with these people. It's like, yeah, what about the experience with your own people? You telling me that everything is smooth sailing with your own people as well?
That's true.
No.
And I think people need to embrace that diversity. There's beauty in diversity, right?
I believe that there's beauty in diversity.
The most beautiful people are diverse people, and I have nothing against no white folks. There's white folks
Me too.
I'll give my life for.
Yeah, me
There's
too.
black people I'll give my life for. There's Dominicans I'll give my life
A
for.
good person is a good person.
You know, and color only makes race only makes you a certain color, but loyalty, that's what makes you family. That's my ideology.
Yeah. This is
Right?
what the thing is, if you are living this world in 2025 believing that all groups of people are all the same,
Yeah.
then you
Part of the
cannot
problem.
call yourself intelligent. And I'm sorry to say that. You cannot call yourself intelligent. There's really great humans who are white. There's really great humans who are black. There's really great humans who are Asian.
Yeah,
There's like really great humans throughout the freaking world. And there's really bad humans throughout the freaking world. A good person and a bad person does not have a race. What is their uniform? What do they look like?
That's true.
There's people within our own culture, their own community, our own shit that are probably the most evil people that we've ever met. But because they could disguise themselves in whatever cultural thing, you decide to trust them more because of your bias. Versus like, literally, if you're still going around thinking that a bad person comes from a certain group, then you cannot be intelligent. I cannot have a conversation with you.
That's true. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I think we negate the fact that a lot of the like, you know, people be like, oh, these people are right now in America, like Latinos are being attacked. That's how I feel like, right? And you know, I love our people, and Latinos are hardworking people that come to this country looking for a better life, and you know, with social media and the media have done a great job of spreading propaganda that immigrants are bad, right? There's a lot of rhetorics. Every time you talk about immigrants, it's also related to crimes. You see what I'm saying?
Well, the reason why they're doing such a great job is because they have labeled coming to America without papers a crime.
A crime, yeah.
So you go, oh, you came here illegally, that's a crime. And then immediately it's like, well, then put them on all the criminals. It's like, so if you don't pay your traffic ticket, you think you should be in the same place with someone who's a serial killer?
Hell no.
Is that like the same shit? Mm-hmm. It's like, it's weird. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and I did this post that was surprisingly, like, it had like 50,000 views. And I was just kind of like, this is the land of the free. Mm-hmm. And all these immigrants are coming here to be free. Mm-hmm. Right? And I'm like, the embodiment of America's the embodiment of bravery and
courage
and courage
opportunity.
and opportunities. And I'm like, and these immigrants that are coming here are that same.
They're searching for that same.
They embody that very thing that you're saying America is.
We also have to think about, like, America has a lot to do with everything that's happening in Latin America.
But throughout the world.
Throughout the world.
That's why I know it's like, it's hard. I think the problem that is really is happening, and then it goes into freedom of speech and all this stuff. It's like, the emptiest wagon makes the loudest sound. And that is what happens. It's like people who don't have I come across that all the time. It's like people who don't have the right knowledge, they're the loudest. Mm-hmm. They're the loudest. They're the ones who are like, hey, like, this is what's happening. And then you have no other choice but to look that way. Yeah.
And this is the reason why this is happening.
And then, you know, when I remember when they were talking about like censorship and all this stuff, like, you know, you have these comedians who voted for Trump. They're like, oh, you know, you have these liberals over here trying to take over censorship. And it's just like, do you not know that like non-censorship is fairly new? Like, it's fairly new. Growing up, watching TV shows, all of those things were censored.
We're always censored, yeah.
Everything was always censored. Everything that we ever watched on television was always censored.
Yeah.
Then you have like HBO or like these additional channels or cable channels that like push the envelope a little bit, but it was always censored.
Censored, yeah.
it was always that's why it's like that's why something like this where we're getting into what feels like a fascist regime is because we give people the platform of freedom of speech, and then what happens is they have opinions that they form very articulately well, and then it sounds like a fact, and then all these people that can't I don't want to say it like this, but can't think for themselves, take that as truth. And it's just like, this is actually somebody else's opinion. This is not a fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was listening to this psychologist, and then he was talking about, like, nowadays, they say people listen to podcasts, right? And then you sit down, you listen to Joe Rogan, 2 to 3 hours, right? There's only so much your attention span can handle. So let's say within the first hour, or even the first 30 minutes, you're probably like, okay, I believe this, I don't believe that. You can make decisions, right? Because decision making also is exhausting, right? So you can say, I believe this opinion, I don't believe this opinion. But it comes a time that your brain cannot do that anymore. And to protect itself, it stops making those decisions, right? So you'll sit there and you're listening to this guy for like an hour, 2 hours, right? So now that part of your brain has shut down that makes that decision. Like, I agree with that. I don't agree with that. That's shut down. So now the rest of the stuff of this man, the way of thinking now is being downloaded into you. And that's when you become programmed. Mm-hmm. That's where the programming was. Why you think there's so many people that love UFC? They love exactly everything that Joe Rogan loves. And then you see people are doing archery now.
Yeah.
Right. And you see youth. As a matter of fact, like I was talking, the funny thing is, I was talking to this little kid, right? This kid is like 6 years old. And I was like, do you like anybody on social media? He was like, I love Speed. I was like, you love Speed? This kid, he's a 6-year-old kid.
Speedy?
Black Speed is like this streamer.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I love Speed. I was like, okay, you love Speed? I'm like, who else do you love? He's like, I like Ronaldo and Messi. This is a 6-year-old black kid that lives in upstate New York that doesn't know anything. I'm like, you know football? You watch football? He's like, no. What you know about soccer? I don't know anything. So I like Ronaldo and I know Messi, and that's it. That's all he knows. He's a 6-year-old kid.
Right.
Why he knows that? Because he sees how much Speed loves Ronaldo. How much he loves Messi. So even since a little kid, these kids watching, they're being programmed from now.
Yeah. That's why it's so scary. It's very like the humans that the thing that's so frustrating, and I think for us millennials, is that we were there when we were watching the movies with the fake futuristic, things and the phones and the thing, and we're like, oh, that'd be cool, but like we wouldn't see that in our lifetime. And I was literally sitting down watching TV, and I'm like looking at a Roomba that cleans your floor, and I'm like, we are here.
Oh yeah,
we are here.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's so exhausting for us mentally is because we got to see the world change drastically in a matter of like 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
20 years. And and we have to take this under consideration. Our family previous to that did not have that change so drastically for them. So a lot of the ideals that my mom, if she was alive, would have is very similar to a lot of ideals that her grandma might have, because the world wasn't changing that fast.
Drastically,
it wasn't that drastic. It wasn't that fast. We went from having a phone to a plugged-in phone to like a computer screen in our hands attached 24/7 to now having AI be able to act like you, be like you, help you fucking write something, be your assistant. When in a world, when I was 9 years old or 10 years old, I don't think that I would have thought that in my age of 35,
that was possible.
That would be possible. I would be thinking at that time that I'll have kids and be married and all this stuff. But it's like all of these things that have to do with social media kind of distracted me from a lot of those things. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Do you feel is it hard for you to get away from your phone now? Or?
Oh my God. Yes. It's like, I remember when people were warning you about your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have like these experts come on like YouTube, because I used to like YouTube and shit. I still do. But they'll be like, hey, like this social media thing is very addictive. Like if somebody says something bad to you, like, you know, it could like mess up your brain, or like it could make you feel a certain type of way. And I remember being like, what's bullying? Like it's just like
what's cyberbullying?
Yeah, like what's cyberbullying? And it's like what's this guy, the rapper? Damn, I forget his name. But he was just kind of like, he's like, what's bullying? What, turn off your phone? And now you can't even turn it off.
You can't even turn it off.
You can't even turn it off.
Yeah. I'm like, late at night, I'm like on my phone or on my computer, and I'm like, what am I looking for? What am I looking for?
Right.
Like, these are times I used to hang out with my friends, and it was normal. I didn't have that anxiety of like, you know, and even reading a book. When I was 15 years old, I would lock myself up in a room and read a fucking book. Nowadays, it's hard for me to be like, déjame leer este libro, because I'm like, I'm scrolling. I'm like, what is out there? And like, and it's not like. You're one thing I also noticed. You ever notice like you're like, I'm gonna do this and that, and the moment that you scroll, you're like, you forget what you were gonna do.
Yeah. It really is. It's fighting for every inch of your attention. It really is. It's like, it really is exhausting. It really has made me feel like, you know, I have trouble really like expressing myself with friends and family and all that stuff. Like it's just not as simple, because I'm like, if I get frustrated, I'm like, oh, let me go on my phone. And it's just like you're
it's like a coping. It's like a coping mechanism as well.
You're literally doing like these dopamine searches all the time, and it's very sad that at 35 years old, that's what the fuck I'm doing. You know,
and that's all of us. That's the rest of the world.
That's all of us. Yeah.
And Gen Z is gonna be worse. Why do you think? Like, you ever heard the whole like Gen Z stare?
What they were like?
Like you ask them a question, they're like. They can't even have a conversation, bro. Like I have like my stepfather's son. You know, like I don't know if you call him half brother or whatever. Like the Gen Zer, all he watches is streaming, whatever. So I haven't seen this motherfucker in years, and I go to his house. You know, you go, hey, ¿cómo tú estás? Good. What you been up to? Nothing. I'm like, bro, I haven't seen you in a long time. I can't even have a conversation with this man. This man doesn't know how to reciprocate to have a conversation. Like, there's social cues that he's missing, right? And my sister was telling me also, there's another situation. My sister works at a bank. And there's this Gen Zer that walks in, and she goes like, what are you looking for? She's like, I'm trying to get a car. And she goes like, what happened to your car? I don't know. So what is that you need so you can get a car? He goes like, I don't know. Then what are you doing here at the bank? Somebody told me to come to the bank.
Yo, incredible.
It's like, you know, I love my baby sister. I have a baby sister that's a Gen Z, but también is like there's a lot of like survival skills, like basic
lack of survival skills.
Basic survival skills. Cause no tiene is like, even when I ask her a question, she's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very scary. It's very much like, this is when you understand, like, yo, what if I just buy a house and live in a farm and have some goats and some chickens and so on. And it's like, this is when it was like, damn, this was actually my parents' humble beginnings, and they came here for a better life. And now I'm like, yo, I want to go back. Yo, let's fucking delete all this shit. I'll be, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, damn. And even that is like, now that even looks like a hoop dream. And it's like, it's also funny too, because it's like celebrities, when they used to be like highly revered, you always see how they buy a house in the middle of nowhere. And you go, why the hell would you buy a house in the middle of nowhere? Because you need to disconnect. To really truly find yourself, you really need to disconnect. And so I bought a flip phone.
No way.
I did. I bought a flip phone. And then the problem with that is just like, because it's going back to the T9 texting and stuff like that, I'd be like this. So now I'm on my phone longer than usual because I still have to do business. I still have to do stuff. So I still have to like answer people. I still have to do the email shit. I'm like, you know, so yeah, It's very interesting, man. These times are very interesting, and it's just trying to figure out how to maneuver that. And I'm sorry, but under this presidency, I don't even know how.
You brought up something interesting that made me think. Like, I think like us Dominicans, or I don't even think it's only Dominicans. All Latinos, I feel like we left, especially Dominicans.
Yeah.
Dominicans, we left paradise.
Yeah.
Right. And as a kid, I didn't understand that. I used to be like, I'm a New Yorker. I'm in the city. We're in New York. This is the best city in the world. And I would see my parents, and we'll go back to the Dominican Republic. And I was like, why y'all want to be here, bro? There's mosquitoes, right? But as an adult, going back to El Campo, I was like,
simple things.
Like right now, we went so far away from nature.
Yeah.
The greenery, the mountains, and the rice fields, right? It's like this was gold, and we left paradise to be here. Aguanta frío.
You know, a lot of people, there's a lot of Dominicans who are smart enough to be like, I'm just going to go to America to build something here. You know what I mean? So like, I have to give that, to like, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to go to America. I'll get whatever I can, and then I'll bring it back and I'll build a better house or, build a better farm, which is great. I think we get caught up in like what success is and like this idea of capitalism, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna have all these things and I'm gonna have access to all these things, and we forget like it's actually the simple things that actually matter. And I think about it all the time. Like in my 20s, I feel like, especially with the digital era and all that stuff, like it's never gonna be that great again, because the Ubers were cheap, like getting your food delivered. Like at that time, it really felt like you were a king or a queen, because it's like, even though you have like this apartment and it's not a castle, but it's like, yo, I could get my food at my beck and call.
Yeah,
I could get driven anywhere at my beck and call. I can do anything at my beck and call, and everything was just like so affordable and great. And I'm like, I don't think that's gonna be like,
it's not gonna be like that.
It's not gonna be. Everything is like an arm and a leg, even to get like a digital device now. And everybody's like living.
And food, the
food is so expensive. It's like now I like the fact that I cook, and that's great. But
Coño, pero invita a uno.
Sí. I eat very healthy with no rice and beans. I do beans, but no rice.
¿Qué tú crees? ¿Que are unhealthy?
I don't know.
Yo como yo.
Okay. So también I will invite you 100%. Do you like cabbage?
I fuck with some cabbage.
Yeah, some cabbage. And that's the thing, is like when you cook, people think, and it's like when you eat healthy, people think that you have to sacrifice the taste. It's like,
nah.
No. You just have to sacrifice some of the carbs or the amount, but not the taste. But yeah, man, I just feel like
I cook healthy too. We could do like a little cookout.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
healthy
saying?
Cookout. Yeah,
healthy cookout.
It'll be good. I'm pretty sure it'll be fucking delicious.
Muchacha, si yo te enseño a ti lo que cocino yo, you'll be like, damn.
So maybe you should start a channel so I could like tick 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 tick.
Bro, let me tell you something. I made a burrito. I told you.
That was the first thing you was talking about when I came in here.
Healthy. It was healthy chipotle sauce.
Ooh. Because you made it from scratch. From scratch.
I don't put no sugar and none of that shit, right? Like even the ground meat, like everything. I don't use oil, like regular oil. I just do that spray in the firing pan. Like when I cook at home, it's extremely healthy. I'll have steak. I have my broccolini. I have my roasted potatoes. Yo como un rey en mi casa.
Así es, coño.
Sí.
Así es, coñazo.
Yes. And then sometimes my mom be like, ¿tú quieres arroz?
But you know what? It's funny that you say that, right? Because it's like anywhere else in the world, like you could eat rice and bread and all this shit. But it's in America que no se puede comer esa vaina. En América que eso te implota a ti.
Yeah. Because I think I was listening to like the wheat, the way that we process wheat over here is unnatural. Right? The wheat was supposed to take months to come back together, like 9-6 months, and we're like within a week or so we already have wheat. Right, so there's so much chemicals in the way that we process wheat and so much GMO that our body cannot even digest the wheat well, right? So that's like when we have such a issue with inflammation and autoimmune issues in the United States of America. But if you could go to Italy, eat pasta.
I know, and it'll probably be so delicious.
Yeah. But aquí, the thing is, the politicians, like
Yeah.
what we vote for, a lot of times we vote against our own interests. Like we got to let's put pressure on these people.
Yeah.
We put pressure on these people. Like, okay, let's
Yeah.
limit the sugars. Let's limit the way that we process wheat. Let's put warning labels on things. There's things like, yeah, there's certain food items that they cannot sell in Europe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are banned.
Yeah.
Aquí, you read a label and they be like, this is only 10 calories.
Yeah.
And then you be like, it's only like a teaspoon of serving. Pero voy acá, I'm gonna eat the whole bag.
Right.
What about the whole bag?
You know what's so funny? Like in France, like they have like the cigarette things, and they have like these ugly pictures of what it causes to you. Like
No way.
Yeah. Like in the thing of the cigarette, it's gonna be like a cataract's eye.
No.
Yeah, also like somebody like having a hole on there, and like each flavor like has like, oh, this is, have a premature baby like on one of those things, like being like this. If you're smoking this, just know that this very thing can cause these actual problems.
No way.
Yeah, I know that because I was smoking cigarettes in France. Because how can you not smoke a cigarette in France? I'm like, yo, let me get that eye cataracts one, because that's the one I can handle. Get that little baby away from me, that little miscarriage ass. Like it's...
We're like that. We're like that. As humans, we're like, yo quiero algo. I don't care how bad. I know I could die.
I was just like, but I'm like, yo, I think the eye one was like less traumatizing and to like carry around. I was like, you know what? Let me just get that eye shit right there. So it was just like, but yeah, it's true. And then I had a couple friends there that they were talking to me about the food, and they're like, you guys in America, I don't even know if you guys are eating food. Like, like the way that you guys eat, like there's certain things that we cannot have. Like I think Twinkies is one of those things or something like that. I forgot what it was, but it's like there's certain things here, like fast food, like junk things that like they will never have over there.
Yeah, especially the way they make it, the chemicals that they use.
Yeah.
I saw like some dude was making a video how to make a chicken McNugget and all the chemicals and stuff like that, and the side effects from those chemicals. You dije, bueno, esa vaina me asustó.
Look, so even talking about this even brings up the very important conversation of Ozempic, right? Mm-hmm. So there was a journalist that I forget his name, but he started taking Ozempic. He's chubby or whatever, and started taking Ozempic because he's like, I'm going to like these parties, and then I see everyone like losing weight, and I'm just trying to figure out. So he starts taking it. And then he starts like interviewing people, but like also like doing his own research about how they had rats, right? Mm-hmm. And these scientists realized like the rats eating their regular diet, they'll eat, exercise, eat until they're good, they'll exercise, sleep, eat, exercise, sleep. So they decided to introduce these rats to what they call the American diet. Mm-hmm. So what they realized before the American diet is that these rats didn't eat more than what they felt they needed to eat. So they're like, oh, I'm full, I'm good. What they realized with the American diet is that they were eating more than what they felt like they needed to eat.
Yeah. Overeating.
And then after a while, you see them like getting sluggish or whatever. And then after a while, you see they took away the American diet and they put the pellets that they were eating naturally before. They rather starve. They rather not eat. They rather starve and then possibly eat that than eat like how they used to.
What?
So when people,
because I guess like their palate changed as well.
Yeah.
Like the healthy became nasty to them.
Right. So it's like this thing that Americans go and it's funny because like they fat shame people and all this stuff and they're like, oh, people are fat, da da da. It's like also like, well, what you guys created is it's something that is causing people to be addicted to the food.
Especially sugar is super addicting.
It's like you causing people to be addicted to the food. So what they realized with Ozempic or what's in the Ozempic, that now there's people trying other different drugs that probably have the same thing in it, is that they realize that Ozempic not only treats the addiction to it, not only treats that whole thing of like that food rush, but it also like treats other like addictions, like kind of like
cigarettes or
yeah, like if you're like, oh, I'm gonna watch TV, it's like, oh, you know what? Actually, I want to read a book.
For
like,
real?
Yeah, it'll like it changes. Yeah, and
It's
you can look it up.
like this hormone, this.
Yeah, like you could look it up. Like it's real.
But
like,
also, I heard a lot of negative stuff about Ozempic. My brother's on Ozempic right now. And there's this artist that came out. She was like, I was on Ozempic for like over a year. I think she was like 2 years on Ozempic. And now she has osteoporosis.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, it depleted her, not only her muscles, but also her bones.
Right. So you're losing weight really fast. That's another thing too that they talk about. That's why they have like different versions of the drugs, and maybe not called Ozempic, but they have like another brand. You lose a lot of weight to it, right? Really fast. This was meant for people who have diabetes.
Y todo mundo lo está tomando.
So if you do not have diabetes, then why the fuck are you taking it?
That's true. That's true.
Why are you taking it? Are you obese? Are you in any shape or form type? No, you're not. So why are you taking it? That's probably why your body is like, yo, we don't even need this shit.
We don't need this shit. What's going on?
You know what I mean?
Here?
Like, there's some people that are like thick and healthy that are like, yo, you're just thick and healthy. Like, you look fine. There's some people that like would get on Ozempic, lose all this weight, and it's like, you looked so much better before. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know that you want to be skinny, like conventionally skinny, but you look way better before.
Yeah, let me tell you something. That I saw like this whole Hollywood thing. Like Ozempic came out, and then you see like the red carpets and the Met galas.
Yeah.
And these people parecen carabela. They look like Hollywood's looking like the living dead right now. Esqueleto just walking.
Clank, 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 clank.
Como esa Nightmare on vaina como Night Before Christmas.
The Night Before Christmas. Yeah.
Toditos se parecen así. Right? I saw the girl from, like, both girls from Wicked. I wouldn't be surprised if they both on Ozempic. You know what I mean? Like, parece chupac, do carabela.
Yeah.
And they also, another byproduct of Ozempic is you don't get hungry, but also you get lazy. Like, you don't want to work out. Right? So that's like a lot of people losing their muscle density and also their
that's
their
what they
bone
were saying. They were like, if you're gonna be on it, you have to force yourself to work out because you're gonna lose your muscles, and it's really fast. Like, you're gonna lose this weight really fast. Some people are doing like other versions of Ozempic, and they're losing the weight and also understanding that they can't be on it forever. So they have to figure out a way to, like, I
wonder, is it addicting?
Ozempic?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's addicting. What it is, though, is that it's an answer to the...
Is it really an answer?
It's an answer to a problem that we created. So it's like, it wouldn't be an answer if there was no problem. But it is an answer to a problem that was created, because even though there's been negative things about the Ozempic thing, but if you really do your research, this has been a drug that people have been using for a very long time, and they've been great, and they've been doing well.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, now that is this like this huge thing that now everybody wants to use it. Yeah. Like, there's gonna be things bad about it.
I may be wrong, but I just feel like, let's say you got diabetes, whatever.
Right.
Just eliminate the sugar. But it's like the sugar's so addicting.
But this is what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
That's the point that was trying to be made. It's like, you have this thing that people go, just don't eat sugar.
Just don't eat sugar.
Just don't eat sugar. It's like, that's not how that works. It's like, this thing was actually like invented to make you addicted. Like, I remember, like, man, I was on my, like, I lost weight or whatever, and I do it obviously on my own, and I eat good, and I, work out. I haven't worked out in a couple months. Whatever, I'll get back in it. But I start eating church chicken. Now I'm buying it almost every week.
No, that's seguidilla.
And then I stopped, right? And I was just like,
that's where it gets you.
That's where it gets you. It's meant to get you. Like, it's meant to get you. And then what happens is, if you don't have, like, I'm not saying I'm the most disciplined person in the world, because I'm actually not. Like, some moments I'm like, and some moments I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do nothing today.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm also very conscious of like, okay, I should cook versus like I should order out. But if you're really hungry and you don't even know how to like nutrition stuff, like if I know that I'm hungry and I have a sweet tooth, I'll make myself yogurt, nuts, and some blueberries. Boom. And that should hold you down. And then you're not even thinking about food all day. You're not thinking about food all day because you figured out a way to like to like subside that hunger. But people are not really aware of their bodies like that all day, and they're not realizing how they are. Or like even if you go out to the club and there's nothing outside, you're gonna eat these addictive food because these are the things that are gonna be
and it's everywhere.
Open.
It's everywhere.
And next thing you know, you're on the American diet.
Yeah, an American diet.
That's just really what it is.
Yeah.
And we can say, oh, you could stop that if you want. You're not taking in anxiety, people's anxieties.
Yeah.
People's like the
time,
people's food chatter. I've heard people have like the food chatter. It's like, oh, on my head, like, what am I gonna eat? What am I gonna eat? And I remember when I gained like, because I did gain a lot of weight. Like I was 160 pounds.
No, todavía eso es 160 pounds.
Yeah,
probably because of your height.
Right. Yeah, but I just felt my mobility. Like even me, like trying to tie my shoe, picking something
you were
up.
tired.
I was just like, I would sigh. I would go. And like pick it up, and I was like, "What the freak?"
That comes from age, though.
No, because when I started, when you like are fit, you be like,
I feel fit, pero a mí la rodilla me duele todos los días.
No, claro, la rodilla te puede doler, está bien, yo entiendo eso, pero like if you have extra weight on you that's
a lot of work.
It becomes a lot of work, and it's not about like you have to be skinny. No, because there's other people like Samoans, they're big naturally. They're big naturally.
Yeah.
And they eat a lot.
Yeah.
And they still not fat. They're just like huge, they're like big, strong motherfuckers. Like, you know what I mean? And they're not meant to be skinny. Like they're not meant to be
genetically,
skinny.
they're not meant to be skinny. Yeah.
They're not meant to be skinny. Like
because they used to sail a lot in the water.
Right.
For long periods of time. So they, so their body will stores a lot of fat. So like to keep them,
So that's the thing. It's like depending on your body type, some people are not meant to be skinny. Some people are meant to be like a certain, like so for my body, I know what I needed. And I was just like, damn, I couldn't, like these pants wouldn't fit. Like, I just felt like, like suffocated.
But one thing, when I went to China, I didn't see not one obese person. Right. And over here in America, like the kids or like the mayoría are obese, or like when have you heard that they have like there's a lot of kids with like diabetes? That's not normal. And when I go to a store,
it's the American diet. It's the American diet.
Yeah, and another thing is when I used to go to places, me being American, I'm like, yo, where's the chocolate? And I went all over China looking for chocolate. And you go to a store, there's no chocolate anywhere.
I love chocolate.
I love chocolate. Aquí, you walk into CVS, you see before you even get to the register, all of that is full of chocolate and sugar, especially that's the same height as these kids, right? And I remember like Michelle Obama was like, we're going to work on, curing, child diabetes. And you know who's going to help me? Hershey's.
Right. Hershey's is making cabbage.
Hershey's thought here,
yeah. Hershey's making cabbage bars. They're making cabbage protein bars. Like, let's fucking go. Where at?
Yeah. It reminds me that song. You know how those memes be like, me and the devil.
Yeah.
I thought Hershey's me and the devil.
Nah, Hershey's is probably like, we'll just make less Hershey's. Like we made 3 million batches. How about we make 2.5 million batches, like I don't, You know
what they do? They go like, oh, less fat, reduced fat. But they don't do reduced sugar.
Look, sugar, this is something that people don't talk about. People don't. So I was watching this thing about, they were showing the skull of somebody that died before sugar. Like it was like sugar was really introduced.
Yeah.
And then they showed another person who, and this is now me going into my own theory. So this is not a fact. This is an opinion.
By the way, a lot of this is our opinion.
It is our opinion. Do not take this as like, this is just good
information.
But
we're also right.
I'm also very wise. So they showed a skull of somebody that died before sugar was introduced. And then they showed a skull of somebody that died when sugar was like a thing. Rotted teeth. The teeth were gone.
No way.
Yeah. So one of the
what if they didn't have a dentist?
They didn't have a dentist. We're talking about like, I don't even know if I could say 1800s or 1700s. I don't remember what year, but it's like around that time.
Okay.
Where there was no sugar. It's people was still.
But what if one skull is American? What if
like
that makes a lot of sense.
You know, like there was like little flutes.
You should have been a teacher. You're like, you know the days they go.
Like I would just think it would be like back in the Rumpelstiltskin times.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. But so they were talking about how people would have like this really bad pain in their mouth and like their jaws and all that stuff, and people would die from it too because it was like infecting their teeth, but it's also a party favorite thing. Like the rich would like get together and have the little sugar cubes and they'll put it in and like drink it. And I'm like, so for the amount of sugar that we have, like how come our teeth isn't rotting? And then obviously you hear like there's fluoride. Fluoride is probably the thing that's keeping our teeth intact. I'm not Joe Rogan. I'm just saying that's my theory. I don't know. And if there's a scientist out there that want to try it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's true because of fluoride. We added fluoride in water because of it. You know, I think.
And so you have these people go, yeah, let's get rid of the fluoride. If you get rid of the fluoride, you will have no fucking teeth.
You have no teeth.
You will have no teeth.
That's what I think.
You cannot look at anybody who's in the streets who don't have teeth and judge them. Like we'd be like,
in the UK, they got rid of fluoride, and they started rotting people's teeth. They had to add it back in the water.
Is this for real? Is this like a true story?
Yeah.
Damn, yo. Yeah, man. This is like fluoride. Like the reason why it's like they don't even tell us it's fluoride in there because they're like, yo, if we tell them there's fucking fluoride in there, they're gonna stop eating sugar and we can't stop them from eating. That's like it's kind of like goes back to the Ozempic thing. It goes back to the thing of like it's fixing a problem that was invented. You know
like, I feel like it's like putting a Band-Aid over the real issue, right?
Yeah.
So it's like this is what truly causing it. But we're not going to fix that.
Right.
Let's put a Band-Aid on the other thing, the side effect that's causing.
Yeah, but it cracks me up, right? Because then you have like these like health people who are like, no, I've been doing my research on YouTube on how to be like this health guru and all this stuff. And like fluoride is like messing up your third eye and all this stuff. And it's like, you could be right. And I'm not saying that you're wrong. You could be 100% right that the fluoride is muting our third eye. But you know what?
I like having teeth.
I like having teeth. Bro.
Yo, I have a mouthwash, que ACT. Eso tiene un poquito de fluoride para los dientes, tú sabes. Que a las mujeres les gusta.
I think people, what it is for people is like, yo, I want the option, bro.
Yeah.
I want the option. I didn't know I was drinking water with fluoride.
How people don't know? That. Like, this is like a, like...
Well, people, it's not... This is what I'm going to give people grace for.
Yeah.
Everybody's life looks different. And everybody has to deal with something different all the time. And it goes to like, kind of like what you were saying earlier. It's like, people already have to make their life decisions that they can't even like, like we could say, go read a book or do this or do that. It's just like, can you just tell me? Yeah. Can you just tell me a fact? Can you just tell me something so that I could just, I get it. Like we like, I'm depressed all the time. I'm trying to get over my depression like almost every day. So it's like when there's a new like fact or a new law or a new something, I'm just like, when I'm coming out of like the rubbles of my depression, I'm like, when the fuck did this happen? You know what I mean? So it's like, I guess I have to give people grace in that sense. And, we're just human beings trying to be human beings. But it's like,
I agree with you. I
Social
feel like
media.
we do need to give grace to people. 'Cause I'm like, I don't know everything. We hardly have
But
time
it's
to
like,
research everything.
I try to be graceful, but
Yeah.
then it's like we're in a situation that we are in today, right?
But
Like I don't even want to get into politics, but it's like we're in the situation where we are today, and it's just like
It like I think we're also living in we live in an age that information is scarce. So like false information travels like 6 times faster than truth,
100%.
and people do not care about the truth,
No,
right?
no,
and you
no,
could talk to somebody and be like,
who
yo,
has a better story?
yeah, who has a better story? Instead of being like, yo, let's like, I feel like people are okay with being lied to, and they're okay with lying to themselves. I want to know the truth no matter what, right?
Yeah.
I want to know what's factual and what's true.
I like lying to
at all
myself.
time. Yeah, I like lying to
I like lying to myself, but yeah, you want facts all the time.
all
yeah.
the time. But we'll also talk about like that's how we live in worlds like there's so much conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people right now that don't believe dinosaur was ever real, or there's people right now that think the moon landing never happened. So, like the conspiracy are running through people, bro, and they're living in this fantasy world, and it is also isolating and it's hurtful.
Dude, I'm gonna give you something that was very polarizing.
Yeah,
And it was whether Katy Perry, Gayle King,
yeah.
like, did they get on that rocket?
Yeah.
Does that thing even exist?
Does that
right?
even yeah.
Right? Did they go into outer space?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm at this space, and then somebody brings it up, and then they're like, "Oh, you really fucking believe that shit? Like, you really believe that they went?" Da, da, da. And somebody goes, "Oh, don't tell me you don't believe it. Like, you somebody's brain is cooked." Like, immediately, like they were both immediately. It was polarizing. It was like, did Katy Perry and homegirls go to space? Did they not?
Yeah.
Polarizing. It was to the point that it was like, I was like, I'm gonna tell you this right now, guys. We all are in different algorithms, so we're not gonna have the same.
You know what's crazy? It's just any major event, there's a conspiracy theory comes afterwards.
Yeah.
And we normalize.
I'm at a club, bro.
Yeah.
I'm at a club.
Yeah.
So I go to this club.
Yeah.
And I'm there and like drinking or whatever and like having fun with my friends. And this guy comes up to me and goes, "Yo, Sasha Mercy." I goes, "Yeah." He was like, "Yo, man, it's so crazy meeting you." Da-da-da. He's like talking to me. And he's like, "Yo, you doing your thing, I'm doing my thing with da-da-da." And I was like, "Yo, what you been up to?" He's like, "Yo, I was there when the rocket, like when Katy Perry and all of them got on the rocket and whatever." I'm like, "So they did go?" He goes, "Yeah, they did go."
Yeah.
And he was like, "You want to see a video?" And it's just him standing like far away from the rocket, going like this. And you just see the rocket go.
Fire.
So they did go.
So they did go, yeah.
But there's all this conspiracy about
That
they didn't go. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, just, if you don't know, shut up.
We also know people that.
Shut up.
And there's a lot of people think the earth is flat. And like, we discovered this in the BC era. The AD, digo, estamos en BC ahora. Now it sound like them.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's so crazy. And I'm like, and in my mind, I'm like, God, I didn't want this. Like, I didn't need this information, or I didn't want this information. I didn't care about this information. But just to know that people can't take things for face value now.
No, not anymore.
Everything is a conspiracy. Every single thing is a conspiracy.
Even Trump, didn't Trump come out with a conspiracy theory that Biden was not in office, that he was really a robot?
Probably. He's probably a robot.
He's a clone. He's a robot.
You know what's so funny? Like, I feel like if they were like, what's this guy's name? The guy who created Facebook. I think he a robot, bro.
Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, he's definitely a cyber. That's the real conspiracy theory.
You know what my favorite was? My favorite was when people started roasting him because, like, during the Democrats' administration, he's just like very button up, and
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, yeah, no, like we'll do whatever we can to like mute a lot of the things, a lot of fake news, whatever. And then when Trump became president in the office, he was like, I don't give a. He was like, they was trying to tell me to do stuff. He had curly hair, a chain, and
he became all cool and shit. He started surfing and
yo,
shit.
like, what you mean? Like, I'm like,
He started doing MMA. He's
right.
like,
I'm like, dude, this is so crazy.
He's like, he doesn't care about censoring or fact. There's no more fact
checking. It don't
checking.
matter. Like, none of that stuff matters. It's just like, man, bro, like, and it goes to show, like, it does. You think about it, right? And you're trying to think about the most ethical way to be like, okay, freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And it's just like, is freedom of speech also freedom of being dumb? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, like people have the right to say what it is that they want to say, but I don't think it's fair that you have people who purposely mislead other people. And I think that is messed up. And sometimes it's just so hard to like prove. And like now the morale of people is just like people rather argue about something that they know is bad now. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if you've seen Surrounded with
Mehdi Hassan.
Like, you know what's so funny? When the whole thing that was happening with the MAGA core, and you'd be like, yo, these people are like this. And then they go, those people don't exist. Those people are a figment of your imagination. Well, Jubilee, you found all of them.
All of them.
Not all of them. You found a small amount of them, which is what I tried to explain to people. I'm like, that is the core of America.
Yeah.
That is the American core.
That's the belief right there.
That is the belief.
And then when he was like, oh, I'm a fascist. And they applauded. And he looked around. Mehdi was like, I'm just trying to see who is it. Like, and it was normal to them. Yeah. Right? Even when like I commented on like, oh wow, this is disturbing, because he was like, you don't want democracy. He was like, I don't want democracy. Then what do you want? He was like, autocracy.
Yeah, which is happening right now.
Yo dije, like, okay.
Which is happening right now.
It's happening right now. So no matter what, like, these people don't want democracy, or even those people that are there and that video, that was extremely disturbing. Right. Right.
And that's why it's also, too, is like, everything that the previous administration was blamed for, because I don't think that any administration did anything perfect. I don't agree with that. Like, I don't. But I do think that there was probably some people who, if they fought a good fight for good things, we tried to leverage. Like, we tried to figure out a way to, like, like even here, like, affordable housing in New York City, like people fought for that. Yeah. People understand the fabric of humanity, you know, and how important it is to take care of each other, because not everyone is going to be a fucking business owner. No. Not everybody has the You have to be
realistic. Yeah. That there has to be a balance.
There's the has.
And there's the have-nots.
And the have-nots.
Yeah. And the problem is that nowadays people are one part of the tribe and everything is like black or white. Yeah. Right? There's no gray area. And both could truly exist. Yeah. That's why I don't like to say, oh, I'm a liberal or I'm a conservative. There's things that I'm conservative about. There's things that I'm liberal about. I consider myself an independent. Yeah. Right? So there's things that we do need capitalism, but we also do need socialism.
Yeah, because it kind of like
they counterbalance.
The answer is the thing is the answer is in the middle, and no one wants to meet in the middle.
Nobody wants to meet in the middle,
which is weird, which is odd, because it's like most of the people is like wanting to meet in the middle, but just to see like these people kind of being like, oh, blaming the previous administration for everything that is actually happening right now. Yeah. Like, you're actually defunding PBS. You're actually defunding like
the EPA.
Yeah, like you're actually defunding these places, and so you're taking away freedom of speech, and you were blaming the previous administration for just kind of being like
for anything.
Being bullies or da da da. It's like, bro, it's insane. It is what it is. I mean, it is what it is.
It's unfortunate, but no, I just want to thank you for coming to the podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
You are my second episode, Sasha Mercy. Unfiltered. You're like unfiltered today. You talked about everything.
I did. So
tell them where they can they find you and what are you working on?
So you can find me on social media at Sasha Mercy, SashaMerci. I'm currently working on my one-woman show. And also, you know, I have a Mori Soñando comedy show that we do like quarterly and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for those because I don't know when this is dropping. Because
Okay.
I have one on July 31st.
Okay.
So yeah, just you know, stay tuned.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, write in the comments what you thought about the conversation. Add to the conversation what you think, what you want to hear more of. Thank you for tuning in. Lo quiero mucho. La pase bien.